Ooh. Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk with my van. First of all, I just got to lock it up. All locked and raring to go. So it's a very cold day. There's flurries of snow in actual fact so far. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm just filming today on the GoPro. It's quite windy as well, so we may get some noise. So I'm in Dial Post, which is just off the A24, which is in West Sussex, about 10 miles north of Worthing, 10 miles south pretty much of Horsham. And I'm looking for, here it is, a public footpath which is going to take me across from Dial Post. So I've been here before. It's going to take me across the A24 and then on a little 3-mile walk. That is the plan. So when I came before, here we go, I went that way over towards Knepp. This time we're going to go this way and walk around on the other side, which I've not done before. The sun is sort of trying to come out. It's nice and bright at the moment, but it may get a bit duller, which is why I'm filming on the GoPro instead of my nice mirrorless camera. So we'll see how we go. Okay, this is the most dangerous part of this walk because I've got to cross the busy A24, which on a Sunday morning as I'm filming isn't so bad. If I turn around this side, I've come out nice and early to avoid, well, the weather, which I think is going to deteriorate throughout the day, and also as many people as possible. Now I have got my nice new boots on, but I haven't put my gaiters on. I know, I was very keen this morning not to hang about because of where I parked, and also I was slightly nervous about the weather deteriorating, and the last time I put the gaiters on I was fiddling and farting about with them. So I just wanted to get out and get this done before it gets really cold. So I know I'm being a bit silly, but I will put my gaiters on, I promise, on one of the walks. I think this week is going to be pretty grim, so no doubt I'll be out with full protective gear. So here's my first obstacle, round this tree and through this field, which I think must have been Brussels sprouts by the looks of these. Is that what they are? Who knows? But it's not so muddy at the moment, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Right, we'll cross on. I think I get down somewhere and then I do a big circle. I think that's the idea. But I'll put the map up so that you can see exactly where I'm going. It's definitely trying to snow. I don't think we're going to get that much down here. Probably end up with just a bit of sleet, really. I am now north of the South Downs. Down in Worthing we barely get anything these days. Such a shame. I mean, I was born in the year of the great big freeze in '63, and funnily enough though, my parents never mentioned that. You'd think that they would have told me about the year that I would have been, well, 6 months then, I think, during the winter of '63, '64, when the big freeze was there, but they never have. Anyway, a few trees have come down Just trying to work out where the footpath is. It looks like I've got to cross this tree that came down and somehow wander through this lot. Bit more mud, but we're rising back up onto higher ground, which is nice. I don't know if you can see on this camera, sometimes on video capturing snow and rain is quite tricky. Something to do with the way the video is recorded, I believe. But anyway, this is all new to me, so even though it's a bit of a cold, grim day, it's actually quite nice to do a bit of exploring. Just temporarily come off the path to have a look at this ditch here. Now it's curious because it looks at first impression that perhaps this was a stream or even an old Holloway, but actually I was reading about this just last night, funnily enough, in Professor Hoskins' The Making of the British Landscape, which was a book written in 1955 originally and then updated and what have you. But he tells me that these Holloways are not what you think. It's actually the delineation of one estate and another. So the owners of each different estate would dig a bank, basically create a bank, which is here, and they would dig a point and chuck the spoil up onto the bank, and the other estate would do the same on their bank, although it's not terribly high here, but it was higher back there. And so then you end up with this little track that's like a Holloway, but not a Holloway that would use carts. And of course a hedgerow is often planted along, as you can see from these quite old and knurled up hawthorns, I think. Oh no, these are oaks. That looks like an oak up there, sort of very strange shaped oak, or is it an ash? I think that's an ash actually, not quite 100% sure, but anyway, yeah, fascinating. These are definitely oaks, I recognise that. So yeah, it's strange, I was just reading about that last night. I've come out onto a road now, which is just going to take me north, and then I will circle around and then head back. I notice my battery is dissipating pretty quickly, so I may not be able to finish the walk on camera because of the cold, I think. But just wanted to show you here, the ditch here. Some of these ditches, of course, are drainage ditches, which would have been in use. But those Holloways, or those delineations, those banks, when you get that, they can date back to, well, Saxon, Roman, or even pre-Roman, according to Professor Hoskins. So it's totally amazing, really. Right, I'm going to probably head up this way, skirt around some of these fields, and then aim back. There's a terrific farmhouse here by the looks of things, just up ahead of me there. Isolated. This is the sort of place I'd love to live. Isolated, free from everybody, and be able to wander out and just take in the wonderful fresh air. come off the road, I've skirted round that, and I'm now going across a field of crops. It's quite windy, got wind blasting in my face, some lovely houses behind me. One of the things that one of my viewers noted and said, could I say something about, actually is quite an important point. Often when you're going across fields like this, you're on a footpath and the field might be a bit muddy and you may not exactly like walking through the mud, but the field is ploughed and got a crop in there. But the thing is, if it's muddy, people don't like to walk through the mud, so they walk on the side, and then that gets muddy, and then they walk on the side of that. And actually, apparently, farmers can lose quite a lot of money on their crops by people not really staying on the footpath and turning that footpath much wider, or making it wider, and actually trampling in more crop than is necessary. So I thought, yeah, it's a good point actually. That's why wearing appropriate boots is so important, so that you can adhere to the footpath even if it's muddy, and that you don't go wandering on the farmers' crops. So thanks for that point. Gorgeous little stream that I've just crossed as I make my way on my sort of route back now. Shouldn't be too long. I'm going to head south and get onto the original little route that'll take me back to the A24. My battery is pretty much at the end. I have a spare one, I think, somewhere in my pockets. I'm not sure if it's charged up, but this has turned out into be a very lovely walk, and I think in the spring, when we start to see the buds on the trees, the bluebells. When I was looking at the Holloway, I forgot to mention there were the bluebell shoots were up. Of course, no flowers on them. And there's some interesting farms that one passes by, with a farmhouse down there too far away really to see properly. And we've got here what looks like an avenue of, not an avenue, but a line of oak trees. And then you have a field that side and a field this side. I can't help feeling that at one time there may have been a hedgerow here, possibly, that's been pulled up so that they can have a bigger field. I don't know, that may not be true. Massive barn behind me. I am ploughing through a farmer's field now, which, although I just said about not treading down the farmer's crops, there's a little pond just there, which is fortunate because it's marked on the map, so I can see that I'm on a footpath that is non-existent in the field. I find that not good. There was a sign up actually that said exactly that. It says, you know, enjoying the countryside is good fun, but please keep to the footpath. Don't tread down the crops, something like what I was just saying. And I came to a crossroads. Footpath I want is up here. Now, I pondered at it. I don't want to walk across a farmer's crop. They don't help themselves sometimes. But you can see now I am on a track, but it wasn't on the opposite the sign, so it is irritating. You know, people have access to the countryside. The way the sign was written really annoyed me, because it was from the National Farmers Union, and it said, as I say, you know, it's nice to enjoy the countryside, but don't do this and blah blah blah. And I thought, well, hold on a minute. This is a right of way. You may own the land, but it's a right of way. If you don't want people to tread down your crops, at least have a path visible. Sorry for a little rant there. I don't mean to upset farmers or anything, but you know, for those few, and I have been on footpaths where there's a gate, a fence goes right across it, and they have no respect for what should be a right of way. So, just saying. Well, I'm coming to the end of my walk. I'm on the final stretch, which will take me back to the A24, but I'm going to pass a couple of horses here, but I'm just going to give them a bit of a wide girth because I don't like approaching horses from behind, so that they know I'm all right. Hello, you all right? You look very sorry for yourself, all muddy. I'm sorry about that. And over on this side here, look, your friend. Do you want to come and say hello? Hello? You do look very sad. Oh, and the snow is coming down properly now. It's just going to be gently. No. You're a bit wary. I will leave you. It is now snowing, sort of sleety snow, nothing terribly exciting. So there we go. Anyway, that's my walk. I've had a rant, I've had a good walk, I've exercised, I've filled my lungs with good, clean, fresh air, and I've encountered some snow. So what isn't there to like? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed the walk. I'll be back out and about. I think we have some bleak weather for this week ahead. I will do my best to get out. So, sorry, I may have been in silhouette then. I'll do my best to get out and bring you some country walks, no matter what the weather. Anyway, take care. I shall navigate my way back, try and avoid as much of the mud as possible. I have actually encountered a little bit of mud, and so the gaiters would have been useful. I will wear them, I promise you, I will wear them. I am learning my lesson. Until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.